here talking sports. It's time for the Saturday Sports Countdown with Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson. Auburn, Alabama, around the SEC, and around the nation. This is the Saturday Sports Countdown. To be a part of the program, call 256-234-6221. Now, let's join Brett, Randy, and Luke for the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Good Saturday morning out there to everyone, and on this July the 1st, we are now 6 months into 2017 and on the downhill slide.
And I think we've been doing this format for at least 6 months, and we still can't get your name on the opening credits.
I don't, I'm a guest host. That's just the way it works.
You're just a permanent guest. You're the Cato Kalin of hosts.
Thanks. That's always the moniker I've dreamed of, the Cato Kalin of hosts, the permanent guest.
I will say this, every time I come here on Tuesday nights or Saturdays, and I hear this specifically Tuesday nights, but and I say, we got to get Andy's name on the thing right there. We're working on a big new beginning. And I mean, we've been working on this thing for a while. I mean, do we have to get it passed through Congress or something?
I think, well, if it takes this long to do it on Tuesday, it'll be at least 2 years before it happens on Saturday. Welcome in to everyone out there. I hope you're having a good start to your weekend. Certainly want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July, safe 4th of July upcoming on Tuesday. I know a lot of people probably are just going to have an extended weekend here.
Yeah.
Probably take Monday off, and it'll be good. But it looks like maybe the forecast today is, if you're a big fan of rain,
all right,
maybe you're going to see a little bit more of it today, maybe. But we'll talk about a lot of different things today. We appreciate all of you out there joining us for the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Again, I am Andy Graham. He is Luke Robinson, and we'll be with you for the next 2 hours. So Florida wins their first baseball national championship on Tuesday night. That game was ongoing as we were here for Sports Blitz on Tuesday. Some transfer and redshirt rules in the college football game. Even the length of the season are under review. We'll talk about those things a little bit as we move forward. The 2016-17 Learfield Directors Cup standings. This takes into account the entire athletic department. A lot of different sports involved, men's and women's. Those standings have been released. Where did the SEC land? We'll talk about that. Phil Jackson and the New York Knicks part ways after 3 years, and it was a turbulent and, disaster, I guess. Of course, I don't know. I mean, that's basically the Knicks I don't think they're any worse. They're about as bad as they were when he got there, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what bothers them so much, is that they paid him a boatload of money, and he made them absolutely no better. And his decisions were so bad, I think that the other people associated with the Knicks for a long time were under the spell of, this decision is so bad, it's almost got to be good. It's the opposite of what we would do, and the Costanza effect of, if the opposite of what I think is good, this must be good. And no, it's actually, he made things a lot worse. And he just seemed to be giving a really half-hearted effort the whole time. I might be overselling it saying it was a half-hearted. It may be like an eighth-hearted.
Well, when you hire a guy and he first says, well, can I do the job from Los Angeles?
In New York, can I do the New York job from Los Angeles?
That probably is a bad sign. And it didn't work out well, and Phil Jackson will go down as certainly, if not the greatest NBA coach ever, maybe number 2. He's in the list, probably. He's on the list for in that top 3 regardless. But it just seems like a lot of these guys, their executive, it doesn't translate over to the executive part.
And you do wonder. It's so funny. This is happening on Bobby Bonilla Day, which we will get into in just a second. But you wonder if this will tarnish his image at all long term. I tend to think it will, because now in this day and age, everybody has information more readily available. I think people will remember things more, and I don't think people will allow you to forget things more. So I think that this will tarnish his image somewhat, whereas if he had just sailed off into the sunset after his run in NBA basketball as a coach, I think he'd have been fine. But now he comes back and he's really just a horrific
president
for the. Was he a president? He wasn't the GM.
No, I think he was the president of operations.
I mean, honestly, that's part of the problem. We don't really know what he was. He probably had an official title, but he never did any of the things you would expect of whatever title it is he owned. So I think he will definitely go down as one of the worst front office execs, probably of all time, at least in relation to expectation. When you hire somebody, you always expect, okay, this guy's going to help us out. But when you hire Phil Jackson, you think, okay, we're about to get to the mountaintop. And man, they are in just dire straits over there.
Well, I mean, Isaiah Thomas, Hall of Fame basketball player, goes to the Knicks, is remembered as being an unbelievably bad executive. Phil Jackson, Hall of Fame coach, goes to the Knicks, is going to be remembered as a horrible executive. Is it them or is it the Knicks?
Well, I think it's the Knicks. The Knicks are one of those beloved franchises. They kind of are. The Cubs, I don't ever remember the Cubs having anything like with Isaiah Thomas where he had some sexual harassment issues. And then I don't remember the Cubs having anything like that. They were sort of a lovable loser. The Knicks were sort of that way. You can go back to Willis Reed, and that's fine. They had a championship back then. Or you could maybe talk about when Patrick Ewing was there, and I think they lost to the Rockets, wasn't it, in the NBA
Finals? Lost to the
Finals?
Bulls one time.
Well, they lost the Bulls in NBA Eastern Conference Finals. But I'm saying they made it to the finals and played the Rockets, I believe. Isn't that right?
Did they make it to the finals?
Yeah, they made it to the finals. Okay. I know they did.
With Pat Riley?
With I don't know I think it was Pat Riley. But anyway, they've never been as good of a franchise as their reputation makes you think they have been. They've never been the Celtics. They've never been the Lakers.
No.
They really haven't been the Bulls. I'm not sure they've been the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, frankly, but they're in the biggest market in the country. They're in the most recognizable city in the country. They've got his pretty historic, maybe not rightly deserved historic reputation. And I think that it's one of those things where the NBA now, Boston's about to be good again. They are good right now, but they're about to even be better if they can get Gordon Hayward. And then the Lakers, everybody thinks they're trying to position themselves to get very, very good here in the next year or two. Now, they didn't get Paul George last night, but they still got Lonzo Ball, and they're making some moves. So some of the bigger, more historic franchises that have carried this league for a long time are beginning to get there again, and the Knicks are still just floundering like a goldfish that came out of its bowl.
Yeah, you start looking at their record and the coaches they've been through, it's just, you wonder where the end is, and it doesn't seem to be in sight. Chris Paul traded to the Houston Rockets. Paul George traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We just found out that Steph Curry signed the most lucrative deal. He's making about $110,000 a day.
Yeah. Said 40.
That is not a bad living.
No, it's pretty good. So even a bad day is a good day for him. A $201 million contract for 5 years. Up to this point, they had paid him a total of $44 million, which, frankly, if somebody had given you $44 million out there, you could stop doing whatever you're doing, and you and your children and your children's children and probably their children's children would never have to work if you did it right. Okay?
Unless you're just foolish.
I mean, you would have to be really, really foolish, and we've seen it, but I'm saying if you did it right, you've got 3 or 4 generations that are handled with $44 million. Well, now he's about to be paid $40 million on average per year for 5 years. That's not generational money. That's generational money. I mean, it just goes down the list. Theoretically, the Currys will never run out of money. I mean, that's amazing.
It is. $40 million a year.
Whew.
To play basketball.
Well, what's worse? And I hate to say it's worse because, look, Steph Curry's worth a lot of money. And in the NBA, they have a lot of money, and you have to pay out so much of it. So while some people are disgusted by that salary, he's just getting what the market will bear. And so, yes, I think that's over the top, but I'm all for his getting it. I mean, it's sort of like we talk about college coaches the same way. Where I compared Brooks Lopez to Nick Saban. Brooks Lopez making $22 million and Nick Saban making what, $10 million, $11 million. I feel like, okay, this is more in line. I mean, Nick Saban making $11 million, he probably should be making more. Steph Curry making $40 million. I mean, I don't know that I guess he is worth $40 million because he's getting it.
2 championships.
But what's worse? Steph Curry making $40 million a year, or Bobby Bonilla still getting paid $1.19 million per year, every year, from the New York Mets until the year 2035. Now, this started in 2000 when he didn't even play for them. And he has gotten $1.19 million a year, every year since then, and he will continue to get that much money until the year 2035. I mean, how old is Bobby Bonilla? Do you think he's 45, 46, 47?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say he's 50. It is 2017. We are 18 years away from that. He will be getting $1.19 million per year until he's about 70 years old. If he does nothing else, he doesn't have to work. He can just cash the checks that the Mets sent him July 1st of every single year and live a very fruitful life. Yeah. Not to mention the other money he had accumulated in his career. I think the Mets got the worst end of that deal.
Yeah, I think so, because he didn't do very much at all for them. But it is Bobby Bonilla Day, so happy day to him, and good for him to be able to collect a check like that for doing that.
Well, that does bring up a question. Do you hate on Bobby Bonilla? Part of me does, because there should be a good part of you that says, I can't take this. There should be a part of you that says this is not right. But at the same time, if somebody's stupid enough to give it to you, I don't fault you for taking it.
Well, it's not like they're just giving him because he did it. I mean, he could have been or should have been paid, quote unquote, at the time, but he said, well, I'm going to defer these payments. Sure, that's okay. You can defer these out over many, many years. And, I'm trying to help the team. So at the time, basically he was like saying, yeah, sure, I'll take less money now to take a little more later. Mm-hmm. And, well, it turned out to be a lot more later.
It turned out to be a lot more later. But the other side of this is if the Bulls paid Michael Jordan $1 million in perpetuity, for however long he lived, or however long the Bulls were in existence, I could buy that. Because what is he worth to the Bulls now? I mean, you still associate Michael Jordan with the Bulls. They still make money off of him. Bobby Bonilla is the only memories you have of him with the Mets are negative. Yeah. I mean, he hurts the brand. So that's my point. Is at some point you think Bobby Bonilla could go to him and say, "Look, you owe me approximately $25 more million. If y'all will stroke me a check for $15 million right now, I'll go away and I'll go live in Montana and y'all don't have to hear about me ever again," or whatever he's going to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? That it's at some point he ought to feel guilty for getting this. I know he needs to feel guilty for it for the sake of humanity.
Maybe so. Up against our first break here, but don't go anywhere. We are just getting started on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Is our number one concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our number one concern. Call 234-5052 and we're there for you.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just one dime down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just one dime down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized easy-go kart dealer that has no limits on a perfect easy-go kart. Whether it's a fully customized kart or a stock-made kart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best easy-go carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock this morning, and wishing everyone a safe and happy 4th of July upcoming. Time for a little What's the Chances? We'll go ahead and kick off the show the right way. This is a special edition. Saturday Down South always has interesting articles, especially on the weekend, and it's always appropriate to do a Saturday Down South on the Saturday Sports Countdown. So this is how I envision this going. We'll do a What's the Chances. However, we'll come back. You can put a value on any of these about the normal one. But I want to come back at the end, and we'll put a value on which one of these is the most likely and which one is the least likely.
Gotcha.
In descending order.
I'm with you.
Okay. The topic is SEC 2017 will be remembered as the year of ...
Okay.
Okay. And so, number one, it will be remembered as the year of the Gus Bus. Because Auburn obviously will, have a better year, challenge at least, or if not win the SEC title, because Jarrett Stidham coming in, Auburn's potent running game, yada yada yada. What's the chances this is remembered as the year of the Gus Bus?
I'm going to say not very good. I think Auburn can be good, but I think it depends on who you beat. I'm beginning to like Georgia more and more as I read up on them a little bit. I think Auburn is a 9-3-ish type team. I think that's where it'll be, and I'm reading the little synopsis here, and it talks about Auburn's defense and how much better they are. I think one thing that people forget is how bad quarterback play was in the SEC last year. The best quarterback Auburn played last year, far and away, was Deshaun Watson, and they played him in the first game of the season. He had maybe his best wide receiver back for the first time in a while. There was obviously some rust. It sure looked that way. Deshaun Watson game 1 to Deshaun Watson game 15 wasn't the same player. I think if Auburn had played Deshaun Watson in the middle of the season, that game would have been a lot different. And then who else did Auburn's defense play? Yes, they looked improved, but who was the second best quarterback they played? Jalen Hurts?
Probably.
Maybe. And Jalen, not a bad choice. He was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, but he was not a prolific passer last year. Now, he could beat you with his legs, there's no doubt about it, but he was not a prolific passer last season. And after that, Georgia's quarterback situation was a little bit shaky. LSU's definitely was. LSU was also in some turmoil when they played Auburn. There was so much turmoil that they fired their coach right after they lost to Auburn. So I'm not buying into the Auburn defensive hype train. I'm going to see if Auburn defensively is better this year than last year, given that there are going to be a lot of good quarterbacks Auburn's going to face this year. An improved Shea Patterson, a more experienced Nick Fitzgerald, by all accounts an improved Jalen Hurts, a Georgia quarterback situation which will certainly be better in my opinion. You go down the list like that, and if Auburn can make things look better than they did last year, then I'll start to buy into it. But right now, I do not feel like Auburn's defense will be as good as last year's.
All right, so that would be a low value on
low value.
Number 2, 2017 will be remembered as the year of the quarterback.
I've just kind of explained that. I think it will be the year of the quarterback. Look, and a guy I left off for Auburn having to face is Austin Allen over at Arkansas. He may be their only real weapon, but he's a great weapon to have. He is unquestionably the toughest quarterback in the SEC. He gets put on the turf a lot, and he just comes right back and keeps fighting. And I think he is going to have a nice year, not an all-SEC year because there's just too much competition there, but I think he is the kind of quarterback that you play a Nick Fitzgerald 1 week, and then you got maybe Jalen Hurts coming up in 2 weeks, and Austin Allen is in between, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like we never get a break. And you think Austin Allen may be that break, but he's not. He's a dang good quarterback, and I think this is the year of the quarterbacks in the SEC.
What's the chances that 2017 is the year of Georgia defining the East? You've already previewed that.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sold on it yet, though. I'm getting there. Georgia is really beginning to grow on me. I like Sony Michel a lot. I like Nick Chubb a lot. I forgot Nick Chubb rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. He's strong. I just think I'm really impressed with him. I've always have been ever since he broke out as a freshman for the Dogs. And Georgia's got some good wide receivers. They've got a quarterback that was the #1 quarterback in the country 3 years ago. They've got another quarterback who I think was #2 quarterback in the country a couple years ago. And so I feel like they're going to have a nice quarterback situation. Jacob Eason's already played, and Jake from State Farm has also been showing out in practice. We saw him in the spring game. And I think Georgia's on tap for a nice year. Lots of times you see a big jump in improvement from year 1 to year 2, and I think Kirby Smart's going to have a big jump this year.
We're going to go ahead and take a break right quick. We'll come back and we'll finish out this segment of What's the Chances right after this.
Reinhardt Lexus brings exciting offers with rates as low as 0%, rebates for college grads and military, and low monthly payments. The time to save is now at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Relief has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937, 866-837-6937, or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Reinhardt Lexus brings exciting offers with rates as low as 0%, rebates for college grads and military, and low monthly payments. The time to save is now at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in the middle of What's the Chances? So we're doing a little segment here off a Saturday Down South article revolving around SEC 2017 will be remembered as the year of. We started out with the Gus Bus. Luke said very low probability on that one.
Yeah,
we talked about the year of the quarterback. He said very high probability on that one. Georgia defining the SEC East. We're going middle, I think, probability on that one. You feel you're starting to gain momentum, but not quite. You're pulling back the reins on it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to. It's like being burned, like a girl that you've been dating a lot of times that you keep breaking up, you keep getting back together, and like with this time, I think she may ever act together.
That's exactly what it's like. All right, 2017 SEC will be the year. We will be remembered as the year of hot seats at Tennessee and Texas A&M.
I think there's no doubt this would be my #1. So I can go with spoiler alert. I think Kevin Sumlin's got to do something, and I think Butch Jones is doing the worst job in the SEC. I don't think there's I don't know if that's me sugarcoating it.
I think you don't like Butch Jones.
It's not that I don't like him. I think this is a bad fit. I think if you put him in Cincinnati again, something may turn around.
Admit it, you don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like the haircut, but he's just goofy, and I don't think it's going to work at Tennessee right now. Goofy's just not going to work there, and he's recruited okay. He has not recruited gangbusters. The biggest recruit he's gotten is Trey Smith from last year, and his sister just happens to work in the Tennessee athletic department, so I'm not going to give him a lot of extra credit for recruiting a guy where he's got a sibling working. I think that Tennessee is going to have a very tough time this year. I wouldn't surprise me at all if Georgia Tech beats them in the opening game on Labor Day. They've got to travel to Alabama. They've got to travel to Florida. They've got Georgia at home. They've got LSU at home. I could easily see they're losing every single one of those games. And then if you factor in that they have lost to Vanderbilt here in recent history, I think they could lose to Kentucky. This Kentucky team could be a surprise. Man, I don't even know that Tennessee 100% is going to make a bowl this year.
Seems like every recruit that I hear about Alabama, someone that their brother works at a car dealership or their mother's house sitting.
But they don't work at the university.
Oh, okay. That's the distinction. Nick Saban getting his revenge. That will be what this year's remembered.
But I read this and I was thinking, revenge on what?
I get Clemson. I guess he gets round 3.
But revenge on Clemson because Alabama lost with 1 second to go.
This is what you have to do.
That's not a good title. That's not necessarily getting revenge. I think revenge would be if Clemson had bludgeoned Alabama by 40 points and then Nick Saban comes back around. This was, you lost to just an incredible quarterback and you lost to a great team.
Well, let's say Alabama goes undefeated.
If Alabama goes undefeated, I still wouldn't.
That would be him.
Look, I think here's the bottom line. I think this could be one of the years, and I can't name another one where Alabama's offense is better than its defense. I believe that could be the case. I think Alabama's got the best group of running backs in the country. I think they've got a solid group of wide receivers. Calvin Ridley TJ Simmons did just transfer to West Virginia. I liked him a lot, the guy to Clay Chalkville. But Jerry Judy's still on the roster. They've got some questions at tight end just because O.J. Howard has manned that position for so long. But the running backs, the offensive line is strong, and then, of course, Jalen Hurts. I think Alabama's going to have a great offensive year, and I think it could outshine the defense.
You're a believer in the OC?
I am. I'm a believer in Ryan Daboll. I don't know if I mean, I'm a believer in him, but am I saying he's going to be the coordinator of the year? I'm not saying that. I just think there's so much talent that it wouldn't matter who's back there calling the plays necessarily. I think if Sarkisian or Kiffin were still there, Alabama would have a big year offensively. So, but under Nick Saban, the trademark is the defense outshines the offense on an annual basis, and I think this year that will change. I don't necessarily know if that means revenge. So I would put that, the way the title's written, I'm going to put the probability very low. If he's asking, do I think Alabama could go undefeated, I would say the probability is mid-level. My first one would be the hot seat thing.
You got 100%.
100%. One of those two guys is 5.
You got to break it up into 5. So, what's the highest one?
Oh, I got to break it up to total 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to say, honestly, I'm going to say 50% of my bet is going to be that one of those two guys gets fired. How about
that?
Okay.
That's
big. I'm using up 50% right now. I'm telling you, one of those two guys is getting fired.
That is a huge. You're doubling down on that. Yeah, huge. Okay, so what would you let the rest of them in descending order?
Okay, then I would probably say quarterbacks, and I will say 20%. Now we got 30% left, right? So I'm going to say Nick Saban getting his revenge. I got to put that third. No, I don't, because I don't like the way this read. I'm going to put Georgia. Buying into Georgia, I guess, or defining the East. And I'll give that 15%. I'll give Nick Saban getting his revenge 10% and Gus Malzahn 5%.
Okay, no. I kind of figured it would go that way, to be honest with you.
Look, everybody's worried to death about or saying that Auburn season hinges on Jarrett Stidham. I think we kind of know what Jarrett Stidham is, that he's a very, very strong quarterback. He's going to be up there for discussion of all SEC quarterback. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think that what people are forgetting, they're just blowing off the fact that Auburn still has Kevin Steele back there. And while Auburn looked better on defense, was that a product of the SEC not having a bunch of great quarterback play? And I think a lot of it was. And for that matter, I think that's why a lot of defenses looked a little better last year.
I think they were a lot better against the run, and that was a big factor in why they were better than they had been. I mean, you got to remember, they were giving up 160, 70 yards a game at times rushing in the last several years. They dropped that down to about 120, 125 this year, and that's where it all got. That's where it all has to start. I think linebacker play was so much better than it has been in the last several years. So I think those factors might be selling Auburn a little short there.
Well, I'm just saying you can be better against the run if you know the team can't pass.
Well,
and for instance,
not in the last several years.
Well,
it didn't matter.
But I think the quarterback play in the SEC was, for the most part, abysmal last year. I mean, look, listen, as an Alabama fan, I'm saying I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's great. We all know, there is no doubt how much room he had to grow as a passer. And he was unquestionably the all-SEC quarterback, the offensive player of the year. I mean, and it was based mainly on his legs. He threw a lot of bubble screens.
Right.
I mean, that tells me all I need to know about the quarterback play last year. LSU had no quarterback last year, right? I mean, Danny Etling took over the reins, but it meant practically nothing.
So I guess they don't have one this year.
I mean, again, you assume that he's going to have gotten a little better. I have to assume he does. Now, there was the one thing that would have scared me about LSU. Nebraska got a kid transfer from Tulane that I think his name's Tanner Lee, and he's going to Nebraska, and he is getting rave reviews. Had he transferred to LSU, that would have scared me a little bit. But they kept Danny Etling's going to be their guy, so more power to him. And I do think he will have to be better. I don't know that he can be. It's not that he was bad. He didn't. I don't remember Danny Etling's making a play ever in the season that made me go, okay, that was a good play. Not a wow. Like, that was a good play.
Well, Matt Canada, I mean, how he figured into it. I mean, some guys, fit into offenses extremely well, and they take off. You look like a completely different guy. That could happen. I don't know. I mean, Pittsburgh was pretty explosive last year, but then again, they played in the ACC, so it's.
But was the ACC better than the SEC last year?
Well, I mean, does that transfer universally though?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I know. Look, it's all a guessing game at this point because there is so much newness everywhere. I mean, LSU's got the new coordinator, Alabama's got the new coordinator, Auburn's got the new quarterback, who they won't even announce is the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
There's Georgia has two shiny new toys at quarterback for the most part, and we don't know which one of them is really going to take the reins. I still hear sports prognosticators every day talk about Jake Fromm is going to take that starting role. I have a hard time believing it, but there's Tennessee's going to have a new quarterback situation. Florida is going to have a new quarterback situation. Felipe Franks or Malik Zaire.
I'm predicting quarterback controversies at Alabama, Georgia, and Florida.
Just because.
Two shiny new toys. You can't decide which one. Up against the break. When we come back, we'll talk about some interesting dynamics for transfer rules changing in college football. This could be big. We'll see if it's just being voted on right now, but this could kind of change things a little bit. We'll talk about that when we come back. More to come right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Saturday, July 22nd, Sun Festival, Alexander City welcomes the biggest live act to hit Strand Park to date, Moon Taxi. At Strand Park in historic downtown Alexander City, Saturday, July 22nd. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets are only $20 and on sale now at the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce or at alexandercitychamber.com. Presented by the City of Alexander City.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit. And that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle. Specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Transfer rules in college football may be under review at the moment. Of course, as it stands right now, you have to sit out a year when you transfer to a Division I school. If you go lower division, you don't. But if you go from a Division I to a Division I, you have to sit out a year. The whole process has to start with you asking permission. Coaches have the power to limit you about where you can transfer. These kind of rules have been in place for, I don't know, as long as I can remember, I guess. They're in place for a reason. But they're starting to look at it. What's best for the student athlete? What's best for everybody involved? And first of all, seeking permission to transfer. A lot of big deals is made about this, quite often. Should a coach have the power to tell an athlete where they cannot transfer?
First of all, I do like that. If number one, if you want to if a kid is at Auburn and wants to transfer to Alabama or vice versa, I don't want them to be able to transfer for 1 year, because I think you could actually get into a situation where you could literally plant spies. You could literally have a guy say, recruit, go to Alabama, learn some things for a year, and then come back here.
Auburn or Alabama doesn't have to let them in.
Well, that's true, but I mean, you could have them in on the gig for a long time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
You could plant that seed early. I mean, that's probably being a little out there. Okay, that's a little out there.
But this
little
is Alabama. This is Alabama.
Little tinfoil. But okay, that is a possibility though.
Secondly,
I don't like the idea. Even if that wasn't a conspiracy to begin with, I don't like a kid coming straight from Alabama to LSU, or from LSU to Auburn, or from Auburn to Georgia, and being able to go play a team the very next year and tell them all they could. I think that if you want to play or you want to transfer to a team that is on your current team's future schedule, immediate future schedule, I think you should have to sit out a year. I'm fine with that. However, what I don't like is when these coaches stop a kid from transferring anywhere just because they don't want them going there. That makes no sense. I know Auburn blocked Antoine Jackson from going to Ohio State. Why? Why would Auburn do that? That makes no sense. It was a bad look. And I know Alabama's done the same thing. This is just the most recent example. Why on earth would you do that? That makes no sense. Auburn and Ohio State are not playing each other anytime soon unless they meet in the college football playoff or in a bowl game. And if it's in a bowl game, it really doesn't matter much anyway. But if it's in the college football playoff, then okay. But by that time, you've had over a year to adjust things. So I feel like you could get over it. I just don't understand why coaches have to be so hard-headed about that. I do think it's okay to have a universal rule of, okay, if you want to say don't transfer within the conference, I'd be fine with that for a year. Kind of like the Maurice Smith situation where the kid left Alabama, was going to Georgia, and the SEC, very stupidly in my opinion, allowed him to play immediately. And it really, the irony is it came back to hurt Auburn as he scored their only touchdown against the Tigers the next year. But I don't understand when there's a league rule, why the league overturns their own rule in that situation. Because you could play each other in the SEC championship game, and that could be something that comes back to hurt you. But I don't want the SEC specifically becoming the NFL free agency every summer. I just don't want to see that happen. So if a kid's at Alabama and he's tired of being buried on the depth chart or whatever, and he wants to go to West Virginia, I would be fine, frankly. TJ Simmons just announced last week that he's going to West Virginia, a wide receiver. I mentioned him earlier from Clay Chalkville. And if he were eligible this year, I'd be fine with it. Totally fine with it. But if he wanted to go to Tennessee, I would say you got to sit a year, and then you can do it.
Well, what do you say to the argument that, a coach could leave and go anywhere he wants? No restrictions on him.
Well, I do think that first of all, there is a benefit to being older and being gainfully employed. And I feel like that's part of maybe just the benefit of being an adult. That could be, you could look at it that way. I would also be okay, though, if somebody said coaches cannot there can be a clause in a contract where a coach cannot change a job within the conference, or the team that loses said coach is compensated in some way by the other team. I'd be totally fine with that too. If you wanted to, make it so that there's some kind of trade there. And the same situation with this. If you said, okay, if player A at Georgia wants to transfer to Florida and he wants to be eligible immediately, okay, but Florida, you lose a scholarship for the next year, or you give up something. You can't just give it up for Georgia, because you can't give Georgia an extra scholarship, because that really affects them against everybody they play. But I think there has to be a tit for tat in there somewhere if you're going to allow that to happen. I just don't want this to be a free agent situation.
That's what they're actually looking at. I mean, if you do away with the whole point about being universal, you want everybody to be the same, because now it's like conferences they all have their own little rules about things. But if you do away with the 1 year sitting out a year, then you have to, and it becomes free agency. Then you worry about coaches tampering. Recruiting becomes
exactly.
You can be recruited while you're at another school. That there has to be some stronger rules against that. I like the postgraduate rule. I think you ought to be rewarded for graduating. And then if you want to transfer, I like the way they do it now, so go transfer. But they're actually looking at that as well. If you were to transfer to a school as a postgraduate, you wouldn't have to sit out a year, but you would count as a scholarship against that scholarship for 2 years instead of one. That would make coaches, I think twice about taking a guy.
Yeah, you'd have to be very, very good to do that. And again, I don't see why this is so difficult. If you were on their future schedule or within their conference, that's where you sit out a year. If you're not, you can go anywhere you want. I'm fine with that. As long as you're in good standing, I'm totally fine with that. I don't see why that is such a difficult thing. And I think all this is created because coaches got greedy. I think Gus Malzahn was going head-to-head with Ohio State for Antoine Jackson. And so he's just thinking, I'm not going to let you go there. Almost out of spite. That's the only logical reason.
I'm sure he has some reason. And it's logical to him. And he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do things out of spite. Maybe it is.
But I mean, tell me another logical reason. I can't come up with one. And I'm not saying Alabama hadn't done the same thing. This is a good situation. Because now he has to go to a junior college.
Yeah.
He's going to a junior college for a year, and then he'll be re-recruited, and then he can go wherever he wants. So that may be positive. And if he wants to go to LSU or Georgia or something, he can do that. I just think that it's a situation where, for Auburn's sake, it would have made a lot more sense. Hey, go to Ohio State. More power to you. I don't have to see you.
Maybe so. Up against another break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, fill in the blank. You don't want to miss that. More to come right after this.
Nissan, it's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017. Get up to $7,000 off MSRP on the new Altima SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's Best Warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
The Football Oversight Committee is not only looking at transfer rules, they're looking at maybe extending the college football season to 14 weeks. That would give each team 2 byes instead of 1. So much player safety has come into the minds and the consciousness of people. Perhaps this would be a good thing, between giving them 2 weeks off instead of 1. They're also looking at maybe the red shirt issue in college football. And right now, what is it? You can only play 2 games? Mm-hmm. And now they want to extend it maybe to 4 games that you could actually play and not lose that year. And basically the example is Shea Patterson that we talked about earlier. Chad Kelly gets injured and he plays 4 games to end the season. Think if he would have, played those 4 games and is able to come back and not lose that year, still have 4 years of eligibility, he would have gotten that experience as well. But
I thought they were also considering allowing kids to play 5 years.
They just do away with the red shirt altogether and just give them 5 years of eligibility.
Which I think is a fantastic idea. Look, some of these kids, the vast majority, aren't going to be playing NFL football. And I think if you want to cut down on some injuries, if you're worried about wear and tear on people's bodies, let them play all 5 years. Then you also get better football on the backside, I think, because you end up with a lot more fifth-year seniors. And I think that will lead to a lot better football, a lot better product on the field. So I don't see why we have to have a red shirt. Let them play 5 years. Now, what it'll do, it'll really throw the record books into disarray because you'll see a lot of guys that, will blow past other records but for longevity, for all time's sake.
I just don't believe there'd be that many 5-year guys.
I think there could be.
I think.
Yeah, a lot of guys that play maybe as a freshman. I think like a Will Hastings, for instance.
Anybody that's good enough to start as a freshman, though, and play like a full
Well, maybe
season.
You don't necessarily have to start as a freshman. What if you are a backup running back, like third string, and you get the mop-up duty, okay? And then the next year, you get the second string carries. And then third,
so
fourth,
basically
and fifth.
2 years would be 1 year, though.
Kind of, but it's still another year.
It is.
And again, I just have no problem with that. I've seen a lot of seasons, Alabama specifically. I go back to 2004 when Auburn was doing so well, and Alabama they came into Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I think Alabama was leading 6-0 at the halftime, and Alabama was running the wishbone. And they had some walk-on kid from Mountain Brook in the wishbone, along with I think Tyrone Prothrow back there at some point. Alabama was they were decimated along in the running back field. Now, I don't know specifically if they had any running backs that were being redshirted. They didn't want to take the red shirt off of that season. But something like that happens all the time where you see a team, one guy goes down, another guy goes down, another guy goes down. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, who am I going to put back there? And do I really want to waste a red shirt? Ole Miss had to do it last year with Shea Patterson.
Also, the size of team support staff is under review as well. So, little fill in the blank. We'll go ahead and just put it in this context. May have already answered these, but we'll answer them again. Two bye weeks during a 14-week college football season would be blunt.
Refreshing. Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think back in the day there were 2 bye weeks.
I think because I think all SEC teams would especially with college football, I mean the SEC championship game, would take it at the end of the year between that and use that as their bye as well.
Yeah.
And that when it worked out as 2 byes.
Yeah, and obviously that was before we had 14 teams.
Right.
I want to say there were 2 bye weeks even in the 80s. I'm not 100%. And again, I didn't get to read these questions. I would have researched that if I had been able to read these questions before. But I want to say there have been times where there have been 2 bye weeks. And I think now it's time for more bye weeks. There's plenty of good football to go around. And it's not like we would suffer necessarily. And if you want to take your bye week on the first week, and in high school football, some people like to take their bye week towards the end of the season, right before the playoff run, whatever. But I think there should be a bye week between the last game of the season and the SEC title game. I've always thought that. I've always thought it's a little silly for Alabama and Auburn to have to play in the Iron Bowl, which is notoriously hard fought, and meanwhile Tennessee and Kentucky or Vandy, whoever, get to play, and you could play Tennessee the next week. It's not apples to apples. So I'm all for everybody having an off week to sort of get, because the SEC championship game is a big deal.
It is. Would you start the season a week early or extend the season a week late?
I'd love to start the season a week early, but because it's just that much closer to football. I mean, right now we're 9 Saturdays away from it. I'd love to be only 8 Saturdays away from it. The issue is the heat. Yeah. Now, maybe not this season because it's been very, very bearable here in Alabama, at least in our area, because of all the rain. But last season, it was excruciating. And to think you would have started a football game in late August, last weekend in August or whatever, that would have been tough to fathom.
I don't know if it would have been a lot different the first weekend of September, though.
Yeah. He might take a degree off.
It may be. Extending the eligibility of a redshirt to 4 games without losing a year would be blank.
Would be smart, but I think allowing them to have a whole year would be even smarter. I mean, why 4 games? That seems so arbitrary. I say, if you're going to do it that way, if you're worried that, okay, we don't want a guy to lose a red shirt because he had to come in an emergency situation, then I would say at least make it 6 games. Do you understand?
Sure.
So I'm all for no red shirt at all. Everybody just plays immediately. You all have 5 years. No more medical red shirts. No, take red shirt out of your vernacular. It is 5 years to play. If you get hurt 2 of those years, I'm really, really sorry. But you have 5 years to play. End of story.
No gray shirts, no white shirts, no blue shirts.
Well, you still have blue shirts and gray shirts because they refer more to recruiting. Mm-hmm. But I think that, red shirt's gone.
All right. The size of a college football coaching support staff is a blank issue.
Non-issue. I mean, I think that I don't like having to cripple the SEC teams so that the MAC teams can keep up. This isn't the NFL. We're not trying to make it all equal. Even in the NFL, it's not all equal. Dallas has a bigger brand than Buffalo. I watched the game show The Wall the other night that LeBron James invested in. And the question was, which team won the first Super Bowl? Or which team played Green Bay in the first Super Bowl? Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, Dallas Cowboys, or Miami Dolphins, I believe, were the 4. Oakland Raiders or Miami Dolphins were the choices. And the contestant had heard of all the teams except for Buffalo. She said, that sounds like a restaurant, Buffalo Bills. And it kind of does sound like a restaurant. Some teams have inherent advantages. Florida has an inherent advantage over Alabama and Auburn because they are in the middle of one of the most fertile recruiting grounds in the country. So does Texas. So does Southern Cal. Alabama and Auburn, meanwhile, have an advantage over Boise State because Alabama puts out a lot of NFL talent in its own right. And we're closer to the South where there are a lot of big-time players. Ohio State is a bigger brand than Purdue, and it always will be, and they should not be punished because they have managed their football resources better than the Boilermakers. So size of the staff, get more people, hire more people, and get better at your gig, or just keep falling behind.
What's the answer to the question, by the way?
Non-issue.
No, for the who played Green Bay in the Super Bowl?
Kansas City.
Of course.
Yeah.
Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Call, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At US AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, US AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the US AmeriBank difference. US AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Sentricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Sentricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering for even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask her for where the competition mimics us just to keep up. No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. About an hour left in this morning's program. The Learfield Directors Cup. This is a thing that's been around for several years now. You take athletic departments in their totality, men's sports, women's sports. Who is the best athletic department? Stanford came in #1 this year, and I think they've won this thing several times. But looking at the SEC, every SEC team finished 64 or above, so I guess that's actually pretty good for the entire conference to finish in that category. But we'll go down and look at it, and this is not a surprise either. Florida comes in at #1. They're actually 3rd overall, but #1 in the SEC. What it is about Florida? What have they figured out that everybody else seems to be missing? Why is their athletic department so much better top to bottom than everybody else?
Well, I think population-wise, they have more high schools. They have more to choose from They just have more people. I mean, Alabama hasn't been known. I mean, we might have had softball in the AHSA for a long time, but Lord knows if I knew it. Our baseball is okay. It's not great. Our basketball, while we have a rich history to some degree, it's been underexposed. That goes for the girls as well. And then Florida has plenty of other sports that are available to them, the rowing, etc. I mean, a lot of these things depend on hockey and other sports.
But why women's volleyball? I mean, why are they better?
Well, because there's so many athletes down there. I mean, Alabama's not going to be a haven for women's volleyball. It's just not our nature. Florida is more of a melting pot. They have more people from all over the place that have come there. Their families have moved to retire. It's just a different attitude of a state than we are, for good or bad. And
the entire state's a natural resource.
The entire state is a natural resource. So it is just really a great melting pot, and I think they have a lot of different interests down there. Now look, Alabama and Auburn are getting better, and they have Alabama's won golf, and won national championships in golf and softball and gymnastics, and Auburn's won it in equestrian and things like that. Basketball's getting better, I think, for both genders at both schools. Baseball is getting better for Auburn. It can't get worse for Alabama. What are some other sports? I know Alabama's got a hockey team. I don't know that Auburn does, but Alabama's got a hockey team. So they're branching out because there's so much money. I think you have to spend it on some certain things. Tennis. I know Alabama's tennis did better this year. I don't know necessarily.
Track and field, Auburn, I think, came in third or fourth in the SEC.
And the track and field, I mean, the whole SEC is usually pretty good in track and field, and that includes Florida. The thing is, Florida's just good at all of them. They're overall pretty good at everything. And Alabama's not going to put their eggs in anything but football. They're going to concentrate on football, and then they're going to put a little in basketball, and wherever else things fall, that's great. They can fund softball. Alabama's put a lot into their softball facility, so is Auburn. But they're not going to deviate from anything that's football, because that's what we do, is we talk football all year, and that's what the fans want. That's what the people want. Florida's just a little bit of a different animal, and Stanford is that way too. Stanford's more well-rounded than the University of Alabama or Auburn University. I'm not stepping out of bounds saying that. I'm not hurting feelings.
Well, it's the same thing UCLA and USC. I mean, they're
right. They're more diverse. I don't mean it necessarily in a, well, I guess I do mean it in a literal sense. They're more diverse in the cultures that are at the school, and the number of minorities that are at the school, and in the way of thinking. They just think differently than Alabama and Auburn do, for the most part, as a general rule. So they put more emphasis on just about everything, very inclusionary, whereas Alabama and Auburn are more exclusionary in the sense that football is it, and then the rest sort of falls where it falls.
You're beneath us. We don't like you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can see a positive to both ways. I'm a football guy, so I'm totally fine with my university being more focused on football. If I went to Stanford, I'm not going to wear a shirt that says, "Oh my God, we won the 2012
that would be
track and field championship." I mean, the first time I see an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan really wearing a lot of paraphernalia about winning a softball national championship, I'm going to say, you're stretching it a bit. We're in Alabama. You're not in Stanford.
Stanford should be disqualified for having a mascot as a tree.
True.
So, Kentucky comes in at number 2 in the SEC, number 10 overall in the country. That's a little surprising to me.
Shocked me a little bit too, but they are, again, they're more northern. They're a little bit more.
Yeah, getting a little bit better in football. Obviously, basketball is their mainstay. Kentucky has gotten a lot better in the last several years. But anyway.
They made the tournament in softball too, did they not?
They did.
I think everybody made the tournament in the SEC, right?
Yeah, I think so. Who won it? Did Kentucky? No, Kentucky didn't win. Did Kentucky win it? The SEC championship? I mean, yeah, the SEC tournament.
Didn't LSU win it?
Did they win it? I can't remember.
It goes to show how non-diverse we are. We don't remember if we can remember who won the SEC title in 1998.
I know Auburn didn't win it. Yeah. Texas A&M comes in at number 3, number 12 overall. Georgia comes in at number 4, number 15 overall. There again, hey, Georgia's a little bit more, of course, with Atlanta and everything. But LSU, number 5, Arkansas. Now, there's no excuse for Arkansas to be ahead of Auburn.
They do have a lot of Walmart money. And they have always been good at track and field. And
South Carolina's ahead of Auburn and Alabama.
Okay, that one I can't explain. But I guess it has to do with South Carolina's team went to the Final Four. Their baseball team is always good. Now, they weren't as good this year. And their football team wasn't atrocious.
So Arkansas always wins track and field, so they've got that kind of thing.
We want this thing to be, the bottom line, we want this thing to be weighted very or skewed towards football. Yeah. And it's just not. I think they count them all very evenly.
Yeah. Alabama comes in at number 8, 25th overall. Auburn, number 9, 28th overall. Shocking that those two are back-to-back. Missouri, 33rd overall, 10th. Ole Miss, 39th. Tennessee, 46th. Mississippi State, 49th. Vandy, who doesn't care.
Well, but
64.
Vandy also doesn't have a softball team.
That's true.
I think Vandy just doesn't have quite as many programs to participate, and I wonder how that affects. This used to be the Sears Cup, right?
I think so.
And now that there are only like 4 Sears left open in the country, maybe Sears couldn't keep it up. But so I think this is just it's really, it doesn't affect me one way or the other. If Alabama won the Learfield Cup, I'd be like, yay, but I don't really care. I mean,
Nobody would know.
I'm not wearing a shirt that says Learfield Cup champion 2017. I'm just not doing it.
But Alabama people would. You know they would.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, they would.
I don't think so.
They would put a banner up in somewhere.
Now, I'll tell you what, I'd be cool with a banner. I wouldn't be cool with T-shirts.
Yeah. Up against another break here, but don't go anywhere. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come to our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
If you currently have an FHA mortgage, this commercial is for you. Most people that currently have an FHA mortgage are working with Home Place Mortgage to refinance their current loan. Several items have changed to make now the perfect time to refinance. FHA has reduced the amount of monthly mortgage insurance. Current interest rates for FHA loans are at all-time lows. FHA has eliminated the need for new appraisal. Most people will be able to refinance with little or no closing costs. This is the opportunity that you have been waiting for. Call now to start saving.
This is the sale you've been waiting for.
Don't miss the Drive and Discover event at Bice Motors in Alex City.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
New 2017 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x2 with Hemi, $259 down, $259 a month for 36 months.
Buy it at Bice.
New 2017 Jeep Cherokee, equipped, not stripped, as low as $18,987.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and eye
Occupational Therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. About 45 minutes to go in today's program. Big deal, little deal, or no deal. I think this is the first time me and you have ever played this game.
Could be.
I think it's probably self-explanatory. And I will give, Luke will receive, and he will give us his opinion. Winning the Learfield Directors Cup. Big deal, little deal, no deal.
I'm going to say little deal. I mean, it is a deal, but... And I think it does speak highly of your university that you are so well-rounded and well-represented in all sports. But in the end, I mean, if it's not as if I checked the paper to see you won the Learfield Cup.
Raising a banner.
I would have raised a banner. If Alabama won one, I'm raising a banner. I'm not buying a T-shirt.
Andre Iguodala exploring free agency and meeting with the Spurs. Big deal, little deal, no deal.
How old is he?
Got to be the early 30s, I would think.
Oh, I was going to say late 30s.
Well, maybe he's that old.
I'm not sure.
I would say let's compromise and say mid-30s.
Yeah, I could see it being a little deal. I mean, I think he can still help a team. I mean, he's still 360 dunking out there.
Him leaving the Warriors, big deal, little deal?
That's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Nah, I mean, the Warriors
man
will be
of
all
the
right.
year.
If you got Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, they've re-signed Sean Livingston for an obscene amount of money, $24 million for 3 years. They signed Steph Curry for $40 million a year. You give me those four players, and then whoever else I want to put on the team is fine. Klay Thompson, I didn't even mention him.
Yeah, the kid from Oregon is going to be a nice fit there. You know that they
drafted. Yeah, they
bought from somebody.
Yeah,
for like 3 point. I can't even remember his name off the top of my head, but he was interesting, or a really good athlete in the tournament. 1,070 home runs in the month of June, setting a new Major League Baseball record for the most home runs in a month.
I think it's a big deal because it points to some scandals about to come out. You don't hit this many home runs naturally.
They're already saying the ball's not juiced. We promise the ball's not juiced.
All right, if the ball's not juiced,
I'd rather the ball be juiced, to be honest with you.
You know, I'm not saying it's going to go back to the days when Sammy Sosa was juiced and he had a corked bat. You remember that? Like, we don't talk about that enough, how bad that was. That Sammy Sosa had a corked bat while juicing and was exposed, and then he forgot English. We don't talk about that enough.
Yeah, all of a sudden baseball been very, very good to me.
Yeah, I know. But when he shattered that bat and like cork went everywhere, and he was looking around like, I just grabbed a bat. I cannot believe it. What are the odds?
What are the odds? Yeah,
that's another game we played.
Yeah, and that was the best excuse was, oh, well, that was the one I used in the home run derby.
Yeah. But why is it in the dugout? It's so stupid. But so yes, I think this is a big deal. Big deal in the sense that it's cool and home runs. Chicks dig the long ball, and fans love home runs, and it'll bring more viewers. Not me, but it's going to bring some other viewers. And what's going to happen is baseball's going to get greedy again. The players are going to get greedy again, and there's some folks juicing. I 100% believe it.
Well, I will say this: the Braves are actually more exciting to watch this year. That they've actually scored some runs. They hit home runs. SunTrust Park has become kind of the launching pad part two, like Fulton County Stadium used to be. So that has actually increased interest. I think you watched, and they draw. Even though they're a 500 team, they draw a lot of fans. This one, I think I'm interested to see your take. The story about Foley High School coach locking up Julio Jones when Pete Carroll came to visit.
I think first of all, I think it's a no deal because it's been a long time, but I think it's a no deal in the sense that this goes on more than people think.
But I mean, on the surface, you look at it and go, that's one of those good, recruiting stories, but isn't there some kind of, personal responsibility to not be that overtly dishonest about the,
I can tell you, listen, I know a recruit last year, and I won't say who he signed with, but I do know that his coaching staff was very, very pro-Auburn. and did not treat a lot of other staffs very, very well.
Well, I'm talking about universally here.
I know, but I'm saying, point being, this happens all the time. This is part of recruiting, and I don't think coaches can take their biases out of this. You know what I mean? I don't think they can take, if you're a coach at whatever school in Alabama, you probably have an affiliation with Alabama or Auburn, and you're going to push your guy one way or the other. And it's just the nature of the beast. And I think it makes for good recruiting stories. It doesn't bother me in the least one way or the other. And it just like it doesn't bother me that Derek Brown spent a lot of time with Pat Dye hunting on his recruiting trips. And those were just well documented. They had pictures, and I kept thinking, it'd be strange that Pat Dye is associated with a recruit. Something doesn't seem right about that, but that's recruiting. That's how it works.
Well, I don't mind coaches being biased, and I understand you can't hardly remove that. I'm fine with coaches wanting kids to go to certain schools, but literally locking a kid into school after Pete Carroll flies across the country just to talk to him,
I think it's funny, and
I think that is just that's.
I think it happens in
line.
LA. I mean, yeah, maybe, but I mean, it's recruiting. It's the way it works. Basketball is 10 times worse. And I'll tell you something. Did you see Mo Bamba's brother? His take on Facebook. I emailed all of you this, and we're going to stop the game here for just a second. Mo Bamba
stop the game.
Stop. Put the buzzer on it. So, who? Mo Bamba was probably the number 2, number 3 basketball recruit in the country this last year. He ended up signing with Texas. He's out of New York. His brother went on a Facebook Live rant about how dirty his recruitment was, about how he had basically already signed with an agent, about how he had gotten involved with a money guy, because the brother thought that Mo Bamba was going to be his ticket to being a sport agent himself. And they got involved with some guy out of Detroit, and he talked about he was with this financial capital group. I don't think he specifically mentioned Texas or anything, but just talked about how this guy, shuffled them around all over the place, got him a new place to live. And then the brother approached the guy and said, look, I want to be his agent. And he goes, no, why don't you just hang out and you can just sort of get money from him. And the brother said, I don't want to be a leech. Now, he said it in a much dirtier, more vulgar way. And it's on Facebook for the whole world to see. But he went on and on about how he wants to expose his brother. He wants the NCAA to investigate. He's already called the NCAA, and he wants to get all this nastiness to the light. And it's really just out of spite. And this is his actual brother. So just nasty, nasty stuff. And none of it surprised me. Nothing in recruiting surprises me ever anymore, ever. And I've heard stories like this that go way back. There was another recruit from this area 30 years ago. Wasn't in football, but it was another sport. And I've heard some great stories about how Alabama and Auburn were doing things to try and keep him away from the other coaches. It's the funkiest stuff you've ever heard.
Well, I don't mind Peaches getting involved, but
See,
for
I'm
high
not
school
Peaches.
coaches, I think that it just seems, I don't know, there's something inherently wrong about it. It seems to me.
I think I'm going to tell you what. If I'm Julio, I look back on it and go, okay, that's kind of screwed up, but it all worked out.
Yeah, well, I guess so. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we may finish this game. We may move on. I don't know. We may put it to bed. Luke stopped the game, so that's a first. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Got your eye on a new Nissan? It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new Rogue SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 and exit 51.
Hi. We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Andy and Luke here with you for about 30 more minutes. Taking your phone calls if you'd like, 256-234-6221. Certainly do appreciate all of our sponsors out there, especially JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. The 4th of July, you can't get past it without the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest on Coney Island. I have actually watched this for a couple of years.
You watched the whole thing? You really did?
No. I just watched the final one. I mean, it is utterly disgusting. But it is oddly fascinating. I don't know why I'm oddly fascinated by this.
Here's the thing, Andy. It is so American, but it's what's great about America and what's horrific terrible about America at the same time. There's nothing that says America more than the hot dog eating contest, because it's all about gluttony. And I mean, there are people in the audience who have family members, people there watching who have family members are probably hungry, and here they have these stacks and stacks of this nasty processed meat in these buns, and they take it and they shove it in water and then shove it in their mouths. And I mean, it's, and everybody can say, well, that's America, and with the competition and the blood. I think it's really a disgusting side of our country. I would rather say, I would wish, who's the hot dog king? What's his name?
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut. I wish he'd get up there one time and say, you know what I'm going to do? I've invited 50 hungry people that I know haven't eaten in a day or two, and said, y'all just come up here and y'all eat. And let's have a come together, a Thanksgiving on 4th of July kind of thing. And I know in a sick way, that's also terrible about America, because we're giving these people who haven't had a lot to eat some really terrible food. But at least it's something to eat, and at least there's some protein involved. I think the hot dog eating contest is just an absolute waste of time, waste of food, waste of America's attention.
Tell me how you really feel.
That's an airing of grievance. I mean, I used to find there used to be a novelty in it that it's kind of funny, but now all of these eating contests, they disgust me because there's nothing but food flying everywhere, and there's so much waste. It's just, look, it's one of the times that I've become extremely liberal, where I go, we really don't deserve what we have. This is disgusting.
70 hot dogs in 10 minutes, though.
It's disgusting. It's not even. Is that really an accomplishment?
Well, that's not an accomplishment, but I whenever I do this, I have to go look up my girl Molly Schuler.
Molly Schuler.
Yeah, she is a 110-pound mother of 4 from Nebraska that got into competitive eating.
The fact that we have a competitive eating league bothers me to no end.
I don't disagree.
But again, it's very American. Like, you find something that you can make money on and you capitalize on it. Like the Kardashians bother me. They're famous for being famous and having sex tapes and nothing else. I mean, they make so much more money than everybody else. And then they get on TV and basically talk about the troubles of the world. I'm like, you're the trouble. Yeah. You're the problem.
I don't know why, but I find it oddly fascinating. I just have to say this. 2015, Molly Schuler, they have a Wing Bowl 23 in Philadelphia. She ate 440 chicken wings and in 26 minutes. And here's the kicker, came in second.
We entered a guy from LX City, I guess I'll say his name, Jay Maddox. A lot of people may know him. He's a great guy, friend of mine, grew up with him, and we were at Alabama together. And we entered him into the Buffalo Fields wing eating contest. And, this is a time, obviously, before I was disgusted by all of this. And we took him, and they give him this platter. It's literally, you can't see the table maybe. I mean, it's 3 feet wide by a foot and a half wide by 3 feet long. And they bring all these wings to him, and they bring one to each competitor, and there were like 5 or 6 guys. 2 of them just dropped out immediately. They knocked back about 20 wings, 25, 30 wings. It's a lot of wings, man. It's a lot of wings. And they're out. So it's Jay and this other dude, and we thought we had a lock. I mean, Jay's a bigger guy, and we thought that we had a lock with Jay Maddox. And what happened was, as they weighed all of them to begin with, because nobody wants to go through and count these nasty and determine how much meat you ate off of each one of these wings, right? So they weigh them beforehand, then they weigh them afterwards. The guy who won, first of all, he did knock back a lot of wings. I mean, well over 100. And Jay was over 100 too. What he did right before the thing ended, he took the entire platter, turned it up, and drank the juice, which would be the hot sauce and the grease and the butter and the nasty. And he just absorbed it all. And as he drank it, it cut down on the weight. So he won clearly. I mean, but I think to this day, there is no way his intestines have recovered. You cannot do that as a human being and survive. I mean, you cannot just grease up your entire digestive system like that and expect to be a normal, rational human being for the rest of your life.
I don't know if you go into that as a normal, rational human being.
No, there's no doubt. And I mean, here's the thing. If we had won that, it wasn't a prize. It was like you win wings for a year. You just ate wings for a year, like the one thing I'd never want to do. Now, I'll tell you, there was a kid for Dadeville, and his name escapes me right now. And we had a wing eating contest. Sportz Blitz did in conjunction with JR's about 7-8 years ago. And this kid ended up going to Southern Miss and playing football from Dadeville, big kid. Some people out there may remember his name. And we started the contest. He was supposed to be there, but he didn't show. So we started the contest, and everybody was just, well, he shows up literally about midway through the second quarter, if you want to put it in those football time frame. Blew the competition away. Didn't drink, nothing. But he would put a wing in his mouth and pull it back out, sort of like they do on cartoons, like Popeye.
Pull out a bone.
You just pull out a bone and flick it, pull out a bone and flick it. And he was doing that left and right. And I'm talking about he blew away the competition. And then just got up and left. I mean, it was like, all right, see y'all, thanks for shopping, and left.
Thanks for the free wings.
I mean, it was great. It was really a cool moment. Now, I still find the whole thing disgusting now for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just older. But
Maybe. Well, here, I got to say this one, and then we'll go to break. In 2015, Molly Schuler went to a Big Texan steak ranch and ate three 72-ounce steaks.
Come on, man.
In 20 minutes.
She's 110 pounds?
She ate the first one in 4 minutes and 18 seconds. A 72-ounce steak in 4 minutes and 18 seconds.
Now, I'll throw another personal story in there. When I was a high school senior, and who is my wife's brother, and I didn't know he even had a sister at the time. He was a junior at Indian Springs. We used to go to this place called Mr. Gaddy's Pizza. Have you ever heard of Mr. Gaddy's?
We had one in Auburn. I ate there many times.
Yeah, and they had a buffet.
Yeah.
Buffet at all time. Not like Pizza Hut where they have buffet Monday night and that's it.
Right.
They have buffet at all times. It was great. And we loved to go there in high school because none of us had e-money, and it was $5 and you get all you can eat. And our goal was to get as much as we could. So one day we said, we're going to have a competition. Now, the only way we could legitimately count was to save the crust, and so we kind of cheated a little bit. But I ate 38 pieces of pizza, and my 130-pound roommate ate about 34 pieces of pizza. But Krista, my wife's brother, who's sort of in between us in terms of size, he ate 44 pieces. And the way he tricked himself towards the end, I couldn't eat anymore. I mean, I was bloated. I was feeling awful. I thought I'd never eat pizza again. He was tricking himself by stacking the pizza. He would take one pizza and stack it on top of another one and eat two at a time, but just mentally to not think about eating 2 pieces of pizza. And it worked.
3 72-ounce steaks.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not even close to that. Look, when I go to Big B, I can't eat their whole 16-ouncer.
I know.
That's disgusting, though, man. Where do you even get a 70? Does that not bother you at all? That there are people out there like, if I could just get 1 ounce of meat to last me through Wednesday. And then this woman's eating 3 72-ounce steaks. What is 3 times 72? 216? Is that right?
I don't want to know.
216 ounces of steak. I mean, how many cows is that?
It's a lot. And I think she ate the fish.
What do? Do you bolt them together? You can't get a 72-ounce steak from one.
I think they came with baked potato and bread. Oh, more to come on this edition of Saturday Sports Countdown.
You think she stacked the steaks together?
I can't even imagine. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. She devoured that stuff. Unbelievable. That's why I'm oddly fascinated by it. More to come right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come to our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Hello, I'm Harvey B. Campbell Jr., the manager and founding partner of Alabama Consumer Law, LLC. We are a law firm dedicated to helping you, the consumer, from all kind of debt issues. We can handle Chapter 13s, Chapter 7s, and Chapter 12s, and Chapter 11s if you need help.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. We are a debt relief agency. We are a private company. We are not associated with any state or federal government agency.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Yamaha is beating the field in just about every category of motorsport products, offering unbelievable performance, handling features, technology, and at prices that are blowing everyone's mind, especially the competition. Visit Twin City Yamaha on Stage Road in Auburn.
Hi, this is Scott Tway with Twin Cities Yamaha in Auburn. Isn't it about time to put some fun back in your life? Call us and see what we mean. 334-821-0439 or on the web at www.twincitiesyamaha.com.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Welcome back, everyone. 72-ounce steak, 3-0. I can't get past it. Well, let's.
I bet she couldn't pass it either.
Whew. You know the day after's got to be rough.
I'm going to tell you what, those 38 pieces of pizza, I didn't think I was ever going to be the same. And 3 72-ounce steaks, I just don't know what you do.
I know. She ate like 6 pounds of bacon one time, too, in about 5 minutes.
I think I could do that.
You think you could do that?
Bacon's so good.
It is good, but you know that'd be heavy.
You know, it was funny, like the PETA put out a tweet the other day, and it was showing how you get bacon, but in reverse. It was like showing somebody eating bacon and then frying the bacon, taking it out of the package, whatever, and then killing the pig and the scraping and the doing, hoping that it would show people, oh my God, this is where it starts. And somebody tweeted back, you're going to have to do more than that.
Yeah, right.
I like bacon too much.
Yeah, really. All right, one of our favorite segments, Who You Got? And this is a American edition, 4th of July special of Who You Got. So we'll start out with, in honor of the hot dog eating contest, which Luke enjoys so much, Ziegler or Oscar Mayer? Who you got?
Unless Ziegler's got their own Wienermobile, it's Oscar Mayer all day.
I agree. You know, there's something about the little red weenies. I mean, you know, grilled on.
I don't like those.
You don't like those?
No, I don't like that unnatural red. I want a regular old hot dog. It's got an orange tint, maybe a little bit of orange, a little bit of pink. I don't want that nasty red. Orange? What do you call them? Like a red
You're
hot?
Eating orange hot dogs?
They've got some orange. None of the colors naturally occur. But
Oscar Mayer's kind of brownish.
Okay, brownie, but it's brown and orange. Brown and orange aren't too far apart from one another. You know, what is it? Red and something make orange. Red and yellow make orange. And there's also some brown and blue and red make brown. Or no, they make purple. Whatever. I don't like those bright red ones.
You've eaten too many orange hot dogs. M80s or bottle rockets?
Bottle rockets, because I do know a couple of folks that have held the M80s too long. Who's the New York Giant guy that held it too long and
I can't remember, but he has less of a hand now.
M80s are too scary. I've seen people put them in toilets, and it's just M80s always freak me out. I mean, I've thrown them, I've done all that crap. But you can have a bottle rocket war and not necessarily put an eye out. I mean, I've had bottle rocket wars.
Yeah.
Now it's better not to have one, and I'm not advocating.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Although
we've done it,
and we've had fun doing it.
Yeah, we had. And it was. I'm going to tell you not to do it. I'm also going to say it was quite fun.
It was. Yeah. There's something about it. John Adams or Thomas Jefferson? Who you got?
I'm going to say Thomas Jefferson, just because. I don't know. I don't really have a reason.
Second and third president of the United States.
Yeah, I think Thomas Jefferson, he's a little more famous.
He is a little bit more famous. Although that special about John Adams is
it's supposed to be good.
I didn't watch it, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take their word for it.
Born on the 4th of July or Independence Day?
This one's easy. Independence Day, though it's a terrible movie, and the sequel was even worse, inexplicably. But the whole punching an alien in the face and saying "Welcome to Earth." Born on the 4th of July is pretty depressing.
It is.
And I don't want to be depressed on the 4th of July.
Hey, love it or leave it.
Yeah. I like Independence Day. I'm not going to watch it. Now, when it came out, it wasn't as bad. Looking back, it didn't stand the test of time. It was pretty bad when it came out, but it was a sort of a shoot-'em-up alien film that we needed at the time.
Yeah.
I actually had the VCR tape of it, but as time has gone on, that movie has not aged well. It's the plot holes galore. You know,
Bill K. Fox never looked better.
I'm sorry?
Vivica A. Fox never.
No, she looked great. She was fantastic. And, you know, the sequel was just horrific.
I tried to watch the beginning of that the other day, and I thought, I'm not going to waste 2 hours of my life.
I'll tell you, I really hated Jeff Goldblum, but I really hated his father. Who was his father in that movie?
Oh,
he was always like the Jewish dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I loathed him. And he was in the sequel. Oh, he was so bad. Just the acting was pathetic.
Man, you're hard on that guy.
Oh God, he was so bad.
Somebody, maybe?
It doesn't matter. I mean, and it was so over the top.
Now this one is not really a fair fight, but they both are revolving around the 4th of July. Jaws or The Sandlot. Now I love both of these movies.
Yeah, but Jaws is so much better than The Sandlot. That's not a.
I mean,
that's the only thing. That's Middle Tennessee State taking on USC first game of the year. That's wrong.
I mean, I really do love The Sandlot, though. I really love that.
It's
movie.
not bad,
but it's not. I mean, it's not in the category of Jaws.
Jaws is iconic and will stand the test of time forever. Forever.
It will.
It will always be. And there's so many stories behind Jaws. I don't know a lot of behind-the-scenes stories with The Sandlot. With Jaws, the shark's name was Bruce, and they put it out there in the ocean for the first time to try, and it sunk right to the bottom. I mean, there's so many cool stories about like this blockbuster, and they took a chance on this kid named Steven Spielberg, and yada yada yada.
Quint and Hooper hated each other, really.
They really hate each other, and the story they told about the USS Indianapolis was all true, and I think some of it was even improvised at the time.
And he was drunk when he did it.
Yeah, farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Yada, yada, yada.
Farewell and adieu to you ladies of Spain.
Yeah, it was great.
American Pie or Born in the USA?
I cannot stand Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
So I'm going to go American Pie.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bruce Springsteen. I think of all the great musicians, I think he is great, but I also think he's overrated. I think he's kind of like, I don't know. Give me somebody. He's kind of the Purdue. I mean, like, got some history, but not as much history as you'd think he has.
Okay.
Like Born in the USA, and also Born in the USA, if you really listen to all the lyrics, I think both of these, American Pie and Born in the USA, are more depressing. But Springsteen's is more of a pick-me-up to me. But
well, it's about guys coming home from Vietnam not being accepted for protest kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But American Pie, that's kind of that's one of those classics that. Neil Diamond's America or ROCK in the USA?
ROCK in the USA because, man, it was on the other day and it was fun. I mean, it came on while we were cooking last night with the kids and my wife, and we both just started singing it, like not singing it like together, but we were both just kind of singing it as we were doing stuff. And what Neil Diamond, though, I'll say this. My buddy and I, Stuart Wilbanks, went to see Neil Diamond by ourselves when we were like 22 when he was at the BJCC, and it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't need anybody else to go with us.
I like Neil Diamond so much better now that the Will Ferrell things, the behind the music.
Yeah.
I killed the drifter, and then I wrote Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
American Pie or homemade ice cream?
Not American Pie. You mean apple pie?
I mean apple pie. Yeah.
Is the apple pie homemade?
Yes.
I'm gonna go apple pie then.
Put your hands together.
Yeah. You're pro. You like that?
I put apple pie with a la mode.
Okay.
Homemade ice cream.
I got you. I would do that, but I thought that wouldn't be a choice. Homemade ice cream. You want to talk about something that's a little overrated?
Well,
I mean, there's something about
true.
Accomplishing it yourself.
Yeah.
But when you can go buy Bluebell, and they've got a flavor now called Bride's Cake, and I swear I have just put that whole tub into my face and gone out looking like something that, what created Jason or Michael Myers when they put the mask on and it just molded to his face?
Yeah.
That's what the Bluebell carton's going to do to me with that Bride's Cake. That is unbelievable. Whoever thought about, because you go to a birthday party and you have cake and ice cream and you sort of mash them together. Whoever the complete badass was that actually said, why don't we do it before they have the two? It's unbelievable.
But you're going with apple pie.
I'm going to go with apple pie because it's homemade ice cream. Yeah. If you said Bride's Cake, then I'm throwing that pie away.
All right. I might have to try some of that. Up against the break here. We'll be back with the final segment of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Start the new year in a new Honda at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga. Like a new Civic for just $172 a month during our first big sale of the year at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Dairy Queen opens in Alexander City, causing mass hysteria.
It does. I actually went on opening day. There were some really nutty people who apparently spent the night before it opened, because they were giving away, if you buy an ice cream cake, you get a blizzard, free blizzards for a year, which actually means 2 blizzards per month every month, so 24 blizzards. I don't think that's worth leaving your car over. But
well, they were just celebrating the fact that it wasn't rain.
Yeah, that is true.
It was good to be outside. Dairy Queen's just a place to be.
And I'm really happy about this Dairy Queen. I'm going to eat a lot of ice cream. I mean, I make mention of this in my article for next week. I hope my health insurer does not get wind that we have gotten a Dairy Queen, because my blood sugar I'm about to have the sugar in the worst way.
If they have a bridesmaid blizzard, you might go in.
And you know what? No, they've got something that's really good though. They got like this blondie brownie blizzard.
I saw that.
That's strong. I had that the other day. It's strong. But so I'm gonna eat a lot of ice cream, and that's fine. And I love Dairy Queen. I love the ice cream. It's a grill and chill too, which is good.
What does that mean?
It means that they actually have all the foods, the pulled pork and the whatever.
Oh, really?
Now, I'm not going to go when there's a Big B right across the street and a Show Enough right up the road and a Good Old Boys nearby too. I'm not going to Dairy Queen for my barbecue. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do it. I may occasionally get chicken fingers there, but we also have a Zaxby's, we also have a Hardee's, we also got a KFC, we also got everything else, everywhere's JR's. We got everywhere.
Yeah, JR's does have chicken.
Yeah, we got everywhere to serve chicken fingers. So, but I'm going to go there for the ice cream. Their ice cream is better than everybody else's ice cream. But one thing, and look, there's some people probably watching this in Birmingham going, what the hell are you talking about? And why are you so excited? Because, I mean, let's be frank, we in Alex City have not had a lot of options. I'm telling you, I used to be a part of an all men's thing where we'd go and have lunch every day at a house, and we'd get some lunch brought to us, and it was a fun thing. And we're done with that now, and we're having the hardest time finding a lot of variety in Alex City because it's just not there. And we end up going to Big B a lot, which is great because it's located very well. Big B's really good food, but we need variety. And Dairy Queen isn't exactly pulling away from the norm, but it does give us another option. I would like to see. We don't need. Alex City couldn't support I'm pulling something out of the air, an Olive Garden. We're not going that far out.
I don't know. I might be able to singly support it.
Yeah, I tell you what, if we got an Olive Garden, it'd be gangbusters initially.
Yeah.
But I think everybody'd sort of tire. But Silicaga's getting a Chick-fil-A.
I heard that.
Very quickly.
And that makes me mad.
But I think it's a problem for Alex City because now Chick-fil-A, a lot of people out there, myself included, would step over a relative to get to Chick-fil-A, and I would do that. And if we had a Chick-fil-A and a Dairy Queen, you would need 2 cameras on me because I would be that big. That's the thing. I'd get the biscuits in the morning. There's no doubt about it. I would get I would start drinking diet lemonades because I would think I was helping when I'm not. When I'd be eating a lot of French fries and supersizing them all. But here's the thing about their going to Silicaga. I think it's bad news for Alex City in the sense that now Chick-fil-A obviously has. They probably have a couple in Auburn. I know of one. They probably
they
have
have 2.
Okay, so they've got one at Tigertown in Auburn. They're going to have one in Silicaga in this new area. And I think it means Alex City ain't getting one, at least not for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Because they're going to probably look at this like, well, you can really just drive 20 minutes up the road either way and get there. And Alex City otherwise isn't going to have the support for it. That's what worries me.
That's pretty much going to wrap things up. We appreciate all of you out there joining us today. For Luke Robinson, I'm Andy Graham. So long for now.
Start the new year in a new Honda at Sarah Honda of Silicaga. Like a new Civic for just $172 a month during our first big sale of the year at Sarah Honda of Silicaga on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Get out and go in a new Altima, just $18,988. During the Nissan Now sales event, a new 2017 Altima is just $18,988 at Sarah Nissan of Silicaga.